Good evening and welcome to episode number 28 of About the Cards podcast, live tonight on YouTube, as always, with host Ben Wilson at Our Trading Cards. I'm Tim Shepler at Big Shep79. Stefan Loeffler is missing in action. There's been a power outage in Texas, and he will not be able to join us tonight, unfortunately. And yeah, we are wearing, at least I'm wearing some new duds from Christmas. My wife bought me this King shirt to go with my cool Kings hat.
Me too. I got a Topps t-shirt.
Nice. They make it in
blanket
giant
size.
Elfish. Yeah, blankets.
blanket size. I'm wearing a blanket with sleeves.
Outstanding. As always, we are podcast by collectors for collectors. We hope to bring you smart and insightful podcasts discussing trading card collecting. We're live every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time here on YouTube. You always follow us on Twitter at About the Cards, and I just got notification we hit our 600th follower. As we were going live, we just hit 600. So outstanding. I hit 1,000 this week. I got really excited. Nice. I know Steph has been at like 2,400 or whatever. He's pretty awesome. Everybody likes Steph. Ben, you have what, a few 1,200 or so, 1,300?
I'm at 2,100.
Oh, 21? Oh, shit. Woo! I got some catching up to do.
But you're right. Everybody likes Steph's such a hard guy to dislike.
That's true.
You know, he's such a lovable. I mean, that's why we're best friends with him.
Yep.
But don't ever tell him.
Don't tell him.
Nice
don't let him know that. No, because we don't treat him.
We're only saying nice. It's like the episode of The Office when Michael makes a compliment to Pam during the job fair, and he goes, "I'd never say that to her face." And Oscar's like, "Why wouldn't you tell her that to her face?"
Yep. And you always can find us on iTunes and Stitcher and About the Cards. Make sure you subscribe and review on all platforms, especially on YouTube. If you subscribe, you'll get a little notification when we go live. So, and it was not a Goodwill score, by the way, Matthew. It's new. This is the new logo. We got rebranded. We got a new arena, and we got actual players, NBA players now on the team. So, Ben, how was your big Christmas week going so far, bud?
Oh, it was fantastic. I want to throw a shout out to Gypsy Oak, who hooked me up big time. We all love his artwork on Twitter, and I was looking for a big gift for my wife, and his artwork just happened to pop up on my timeline at the right time. And I asked him, I said, "Hey, what would you charge me if I shot you a couple pictures of my kids?" And he gave me a price that was too good to pass up, and gave him a few pictures, and he came back 4 to 6 weeks later and said, "Here's what they look like." And I'm like, oh my God. I mean, I'm absolutely in love with those pictures. They're on my timeline at Our Trading Cards. If you want to take a look at them, Jeff is a tremendously talented artist. So I want to make sure I threw a shout out. My wife cried. She's absolutely in love with them. And then my dad did some good stuff this year. I actually had 2 series of these series 5. They're non-sports cards from 1986, and what they are is they're Beatles, Monkeys, obviously the Temptations, which is my favorite group on top. They're all black and white, all groups from the 50s and 60s. Some non-sports stuff, and then he got me the complete set of 1939 play ball. There were 7 different A's. The 1936 Chickles, and a couple of odds and ends. And then, of course, a fat stack between he and my wife, 83 different 87 Maguires. So
that's awesome.
How was yours? You get all your binders and sleeves?
Well, I got some Amazon gift cards, so I'll be buying some binders, and I got 200 of the tall plastic dividers, so I can start putting those to use and organizing stuff right off the bat. I got a blaster of update, which I think I pulled Nakuna and Torres and Meja rookies out of, which was pretty awesome. Yeah, that was way worth it. My wife got me a brick card that's it's got like it's coming because it got delayed, but it's got like a big piece of game used bat in it, I guess.
Oh, nice.
So I'm waiting for that to show up as a little display piece. It was like a 91 Donruss highlights card that talks about his batting champions, which I think is cool. 3 in the decade, but it's got the bat piece in there and stuff. So I'm waiting to see what that looks like. So that'll be nice.
My dad got me this Mickey Mantle relic.
Oh, that's cool.
Along with the 52 tops. There's actually a rainbow of different 52 tops reprints. I'm not exactly sure what year that one there is numbered. But yeah, it's kind of neat. He's like, I couldn't afford an actual 52 mantle.
Yeah, who can?
Like,
by the way, I watched that Santa Claus movie. I don't know what the name of it is, where the wife whips up the 52 mantle with Kurt Russell, Santa Claus. We watched it last night. It's a Netflix only movie. Legit, it's in the new Christmas rotation.
It's a great movie. We've seen it about 73 times because Bentley gets on Netflix, and Kurt Russell about an hour into it does a blues.
Yeah,
my uncle, who Gypsy Oak actually did one for my uncle as well. Picture for my dad, and it just seems like every 2 hours I'm hearing Kurt Russell break out into this blues. My uncle was a blues musician down in San Francisco, a legend down on the Bay, and so that was kind of fun for us because that scene kind of hit home with the blues. But I tell you what, you know how the Christmas Story runs for 24 hours. That one has been running for the last 30 days.
It's a legit movie. It's good. I would check it out. So lots of good stuff coming through the holidays. I did Santa Claus was cool, and he put a 64 Willie Mays in my son's stocking.
Nice.
I don't have a 64 Mays. So his first two cards in his own collection, my wife picked out a 61 Mays for him, and then Santa brings him a 64 Mays. I mean, they're not mint condition, but
doesn't matter.
They're awesome Willie Mays cards, and I did buy him. I personally bought him a mini size 6 fitted New Era Royals hat. So all he wants to do is take it off and chew on the bill. So
my son Jonathan's the same way. I think Jonathan's a little older than Robbie by a couple months. Same thing. Can't put a hat on that kid to save his life.
Yeah. He likes his beanies, but he doesn't like the hat. So, no, it's been good, and I held back on buying anything else for myself, but I think I'm going to buy the Stranger Things set. It was on my list. I didn't get it, so that's the one thing I was kind of hoping for in a stocking stuffer. But I'm going to go pick that set up for myself. I've seen it for around $20, so that'll be a little gift to myself this week. But let's get into the week that was last week's releases. So. We have an update from 2 weeks ago in the Tops Living the week with Nolan Ryan, week 40. We added just over 15,000 cards. It was the 30th best week out of the first 40. Nolan himself, card 118, sold just over 6,700 cards, which is the 30th best at 117 card. 120 cards. He was number 30. AJ Minter, card number 119, the rookie from the Braves, sold 6 shy of 4,000, 106. Overall, and Harrison Bader, the rookie for the Cardinals, card 120, sold almost 4,300, 95th most popular card. So not a wild, crazy week, not a terrible week. It was weird to see Nolan not hit 7,000. Neither
did Cal, though.
Yeah, but the thing too is a lot of people said it's because he was a Ranger and he wasn't an Astro or and he went in as a Ranger, so I don't know if that had an effect where they, selected him as the team he was inducted in the Hall of Fame as. There was a lot of chatter about that when we went back and forth on the numbers, about this time last week. So this last week, the week 41 with Buster Posey, Jorge Alfaro, and David Peralta, the non-rookie week, the numbers haven't been updated. So hopefully we'll have those next week. Again, we're over 800,000 sold so far total. I did buy. I can't wait. My 6 Posies. Can't wait to get them. Also, 2018 Panini Donruss Optic Football was released last week, and then 2018 Bowman's Best Baseball came out last week. As we move into hot off the presses, this week's new releases. It's going to be a short week, but we did get a little surprise a little earlier in the day. Tops Living was announced week 42. Jackie Robinson week, I guess you could call it. Card number 124 was Hall of Famer Jim Thome, first baseman, Cleveland Indians. Came up as a third baseman. I guess he was a first baseman most of his career. Third Indian on the list. He's got the Chief Wahoo was on the hat. That was pointed out across the board today. Card number 125, Ryan Yarbrough, pitcher, Tampa Rays, 4th rate. Now, I had to look him up because I was like, who? He's a rookie. And I go, who in the hell is Ryan Yarbrough?
Right.
And why is he in my Topps Living set? And then I looked, and he went 16-6 this year with under like a 3.5 something ERA and a whip of like 1.2 something.
I think he finished in the top 5 in Rookie of the Year, did he not?
Yeah. So he had a good year. I guess, I just didn't watch the Rays all that much. But, I guess he's better than Andrew Hu and the Haney.
Yeah.
But and then card 126 was Justin Upton, outfielder, Los Angeles Angels. He's our 4th Angel on the list, and he's hatless. So, which is
I was kind of surprised. I forget who it was on Twitter who pointed out about Chief Wahoo. I'm glad. I don't want to get into too much of the whole politics and stuff. I don't think the Washington Redskins or the Cleveland Indians or the Atlanta Braves or any of the other teams should have to change their mascot to be politically correct. I believe I've said it, at least on Twitter. I know I've said it about the history behind the Cleveland Indians Chief Wahoo logo, and that it is a representation of a player that they had in the 19-teens. Before team names were, they were called the Cleveland Naps because of Nap Lajoie and stuff. So I'm glad that they didn't. It would have been really easy for them to love that picture and just tell the artist, hey, can you put the C block, the block C on there? So I'm glad that they, for me, Chief Wahoo is always going to be part of the Indians lore.
Yep. It's just an interesting week because Tomei's not huge in the collecting community. Even though he's a Hall of Famer, I just think it's going to be a week. Does that make sense? A light week. It's not going to be strong. So we'll see. We'll see what comes. I think he does 5,000. Everybody else is sub 4.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. If he doesn't hit 5, I wouldn't be surprised. It's the week after Christmas, so there's going to be a lot of traveling. People heading back home. People preparing for the new year. This week's probably, if this does last indefinitely, I think this might be the week that really starts to. Last week and this week are the ones that are going to get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah,
year after year.
Yep. So we will see. Like some people might be on Southwest flights and not have Wi-Fi, and they're not able to claim, a card that somebody offered up for free, and somebody claims it, and then the other guy gets upset, and then I felt bad, and I was like, okay, I guess it belongs to that guy. Yeah, and it's okay. This week comes out. 2018 Leaf Best of Football comes out Friday. I always love this product. Never buy it, but I love to watch the breaks of it. Any of the best of stuff. It's 1 pack per box. You're getting 2 cards per pack. You're going to get 1 buyback card of redemption for memorabilia, sealed packs, or even boxes, which I don't know if they've done the packs or boxes before, but I know they've done memorabilia. So that's cool. And you're also going to get 1 Leaf Best of Football base card, a lot of the rookies. And it's featuring some of the top 2018 NFL rookies, the Best of Baseball checklist. It offers base cards that are 1 per box. The big thing is the buybacks. So it's an upside for rookie cards of some of the NFL's greatest players. Some are graded as well. Majority of them, I believe, are. There's also limited autographs, low numbered, even parallels. So it's a pretty cool in the game, and they're going to actually have some various game used memorabilia cards, which is listed in there. So it's going to be neat to see some of the memorabilia items or the box redemptions and pack redemptions that come out of this product. It's $168 a box, so it's got a hefty price point, but it's going to be neat to see.
Does it really? That's not that bad.
No, it's not too terrible, but you hit a box 89 Pro set and a Sam Darnold Best of Leaf Baseball or Best of Leaf Football, you're going to feel kind of hurt, right?
Yeah, we were talking about that clown last week or week before who'd got on Twitter and complained about his hockey box not doing a return on his investment as he saw fit.
Yeah.
Same kind of a thing here is if you're buying 1 box, odds are you're probably not going to get a decent return. It really is. Odds aren't 50-50 that you're going to get your money back. They're probably closer to 20-80. When you get down to the statistical side of things.
Yeah, you got to buy the case if you want all the.
You're going to have to buy a case, and you may have to buy 2 or 3 cases in order to really get if your goal is to get a return,
Yeah,
you're gonna have to buy in bulk. This is a volume product.
yeah, no, and I can. The easiest case I can make for this is that when Update came out, I bought 3 jumbo boxes because the prices were so good at my LCS, and I took 3 out of the 6 boxes from the case, and one of the boxes had the Soto Black Auto, right? Well, if you look, the sale prices on that cover my 3 boxes. The other hits that I got, the other, what's that, 6, 7, 8 hits that I got out of there, out of the 3 boxes, if you take out the Soto, were maybe $40 or $50 worth of cards, maybe. If I hadn't hit the Soto, it's probably a letdown. But I probably hit the case hit out of that with that one card. So you take a game when you buy a box. If you there's something specific you want out of it, then go buy it. Take your funds and do it that way. So also this week, 2018-19 Panini Contenders Basketball. Now, it was listed as Friday. I saw something that is supposed to be out today. 170 a box, 12 packs per box, 10 cards per pack, 2 autograph cards. And that's all the information we have. There is no checklist as of now. So, hey, here's a $170 box worth of cards. You have an idea what Contenders is. You're going to have those rookie autographs in there of the big guys. And, you can look back and the different ticket variations and that kind of stuff. But, yeah, we don't have a ton of information on it. So, Contenders is always a fun product. It's really hit based. You're really looking for that big auto, and that's the base set usually has 0 value in all the sports across the board. But so have fun with it if you want to buy some basketball. I always like to buy the singles after the fact and scoop them up. I think it's a lot better that way.
A lot of it depends on, again, how you're collecting, and we have the luxury of having an LCS to probably have some of this in the dollar bin. Sport lots will be a good resource for this stuff. Is this something you want to go out and spend a ton on eBay and shipping? Subjective. It's up to the buyer.
Yeah, and then with Brewing next week's new releases, so I was reviewing the release calendar, and supposedly next week we were supposed to have Contenders Football 2018 Panini Contenders Football and 2018-19 Panini Dominion Basketball, but it does not look like that's the case. It looks like those have been pushed back. Contenders Football, which is out in retail right now, so if you want some, go get it. It's been pushed out to the 11th, and along with Dominion. Next week, it does not look like much is coming out whatsoever. Leaf Ultimate Draft Baseball got pushed back until then as well. So yeah, we will see. So we might not have any new releases talk next week, but if we don't, we'll definitely have some good conversation about other things. Maybe some fun things in the hobby. But if you have suggestions or want us to hit something up, always let us know.
I'm good with there being a week or two that's dark, that there's nothing to be released, where you can kind of catch your breath financially, or go out and grab a couple cards that are on your to buy list that. All of a sudden a little bit of money in the budget opens up for you to play with. I'm okay with that. I think there should actually be.
Or then we have those weeks like 2 weeks ago where you had Bowman draft and then best of Bowman, like bam, bam, like, and that was just because of they pushed back Bowman draft a week. So
yeah, it's nice when you kind of get this lull once in a while. There was a month, I forget which one it was, May or something. One of the months earlier in this year, kind of did us a solid and had a 3-week window where there wasn't really. I suppose it's subjective too. There wasn't much for me to collect, I should say, at that time.
Well, and this is the time too. Is if you're a baseball collector, this is the time to pick up your higher end cards.
Yeah.
Some of the cards that you've been looking for, because the lull is there. The baseball season's not going on. Free agency's been really quiet lately. So this is that time to hop on and scoop things up. If you're on Sport Lots, if you're on ComC, eBay, to your LCS even might have some blowout on baseball stuff. This is a good time to go and pick that up. I know our LCS had Series 1 and Series 2 boxes of just the hobby boxes for like $35 this last week before Christmas. just to make room because, flagship 19's coming out soon. So make the space, you never know what you'll find. So.
Well, our friend Mario Alejandro,
Mm-hmm.
who you can find at the Wax Heaven, big Conseco collector, and he tweeted out today that he picked up a Topps Gallery Conseco for $5, $8.50 shipped, but $5. His tweet, excuse me, it was actually on Christmas Eve. I saw it today, so I do apologize. It says this is officially a new low. Looks like the Tan Man got out of the game. The Tan Man referring to Tanner Jones, just in time. Thanks Topps for the huge flood. That's a good deal on a Conseco auto. Yeah, it's sticker auto, but hey, man, for $8.50, if that you don't have one, if you're a Conseco collector, an A's collector, if he's one of your guys growing up, I mean, I'm at the LCS once in a while. I've seen Dave Winfield stuff and players that I don't PC that, man, that's hard to pass up. Dave Winfield auto for $5, one of those things. So yeah, now's a good time to kind of go in and snag a bunch of stuff when people aren't paying attention. I know that Ivan at Watch the Breaks had made a tweet a day or so ago that said something about there's probably a lot of good deals over the last few days, referencing himself having been super busy over the Christmas season. So there's probably a lot of stuff where eyes just aren't on some of these auctions, and people are snagging some really good deals because you're just busy. You're wrapping, you're getting last minute gifts in, families coming over, and next thing you know, 10% of the people that normally might look at something are watching it. And now that takes out a huge market segment.
Yeah, no, definitely. I saw some fun. Somebody tweeted out. I'm gonna try to find it here. It was a listing of some graded cards, and they were right up your alley, Ben. Let me see if I can find the tweet real quick. It's funny is we're gonna get into a couple of things about eBay and eBay sellers coming up, and it's just kind of crazy what people are doing. I think it was one was from Brian Bice. Sent out. It was a sealed like 88 88 Donruss set that they wanted like $875 for to start. This other one was, I don't remember. It was a graded McGuire, 85 McGuire, and a graded Conseco, I believe, and they were looking for like $2,500 for the pair. Yeah,
I tell people all the time, if you want a good laugh, if you're in the restroom, if you're in the restroom and need a good laugh, look up baseball cards or just cards on OfferUp.
Yeah.
And the idiots. I mean, there's one guy here in our local market. He had like a Babe Ruth base card. It was like a refractor. So it was probably maybe a $3 card. And he had $2,000 on it. And I was like, man, are you kidding me? That's a great deal. And I was screwing with him. And eventually I dropped the bomb. Like, come on, dude, this is a $3 card. And he comes back. Listen, if you're not interested, don't buy it. But my price is firm. I said, so you're telling me that if I offered you $1,999, you'd say no? He goes, yes. $2,000 firm. And because I was being a jerk, he goes, I wouldn't sell this card to you for $5,000. Like, okay, sailor.
Yeah, my loss. No, and so that brings us up. So, Infield Chatter Hobby Talk section. The first thing leading off is I saw this. Somebody tweeted out a link to a 2011 Bowman Chrome Paul Goldschmidt Orange Refractor BGS 85. And so it's just the parallel chrome refractor, right?
Good card, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. In the listing, it's listed as an auto, and it was selling for a buy it now of $224.99. It's a facsimile autograph,
right?
So I messaged the owner because I go, "What's the grade on the auto?" Because it just shows the front. The only picture he has is the one from the front, and he messaged me back. There's no grade on the auto. It's a facsimile auto. And I said, oh, well, why then do you list it as an autograph card in your title? And he said, well, if you're not interested in buying the card, please, quit messaging me. And I said, well, you're really cheating out people that might think that's a real autograph by saying autograph and selling at the price point that you are. And he goes, and then he'd send that message again. And I kept needling him 4 or 5 different times over that, and then he finally stopped responding, and then he responded back again today with the same thing. And I just want to put it out there. It's SPRAT11 is his seller name on eBay. He has like over 200 and something reviews and all 100% feedback. But when you're selling a BS card, like it's a good card, don't get me wrong, but you're trying to BS somebody over an autograph and taking advantage of people at the holidays that might not understand that it's not a real autograph.
Right.
You're a dirtbag. You're what gives the hobby a bad name. You're worse than the people. You're as bad as the people faking Mickey Mantle and Joe DiMaggio and all those autographs. It's just, to me, it's despicable.
So two things on this real quick that, you made all the points I was going to make. So I'll move on away from my opinion on that. But two things real quick. One, you actually sent me that link to take a look at it. And I saw it, I think you made a comment like, hey, so if you want to light this guy up too. And so basically you're just giving me, the ball on the tee.
Yep.
I did not take a swing.
Damn it.
Did not message him.
All the times.
But I'm telling you. So I'm turning over a new leaf. I didn't. But then number two is you did. What I've noticed since we've been doing this podcast is over time you've turned more. My dad used to watch Hallmark movies and he'd love them, right? Year over year. Let's watch Hallmark. They're so great. Well, this year he's sitting on the couch with me talking crap about him and all the inconsistencies. And I'm like, you bitter old man. You've turned into me. So I commend you. The influence finally has hit.
Yeah, it's making me sick. But it was just, I had some free time. And it was just really irking me that this guy was doing that. And it doesn't make sense, man.
There are a lot of people out there that I've got a reprint here. My dad had completed my 39 play ball set for Christmas, except one card he could not find. So he bought this one here. This being a reprint, okay? You can tell it's a reprint because and I know, right? Well, he ended up finding the card, and he bought me the actual card. Okay? But the thing is, for somebody like, say, Bianca, your wife, Heather, my wife, they may not know unless we tell them. They would look at this, and if it was mislisted, and this one on the bottom does say reprint, 1988. Okay? So good for that on that production. But what are the odds of you're a Paul Goldschmidt guy, or you're a so-and-so fan. I don't know. I don't know any better. All I know is I thought I got my husband a good card, and lo and behold,
I got taken advantage of.
Got taken advantage of because of a mislisting. And we talked about that too with the last week, the Topps holiday, the snowflake, and sellers are mislisting it, and maybe not on purpose, but they're mislisting it because they don't know any better.
Yep. Uneducated sellers are, just uneducated folks, or people just trying to take advantage. I mean, you don't know who you're dealing with.
Yeah.
This leads me into the next conversation. I think it's a bigger conversation, but it's something that I was just made aware of. Was eBay is looking to phase out PayPal by 2023. Mm-hmm. So I want to know. We kind of talked a little bit. I think it's a bigger conversation to have, and I'd like to have Steph on when we do have it. But there are other options, but PayPal does offer some nice benefits, but it looks like eBay wants to maybe have their own or make some money other ways. Now Chris Torres is saying eBay managed payments is great now. So Chris, if you can enlighten us on why that's better.
Yeah, actually, Chris was one of the ones that I had bitched about a couple weeks ago, and Chris was one of the people that had responded to me saying, as a seller, and Chris sells in volume, so he is a perfect example of somebody that we would go to for expertise advice because they've been on the other side of things. We can discuss this more at length if you want. I think the main thing is it's really not that big of a deal. You put your credit card information in. It's yet another place that stores your personal information. If you want to use PayPal money, you can either transfer it to your checkbook and use your debit card on eBay, which is another step, and you have to wait a few days. Or most of us do have a Visa or whatever MasterCard, I think it is, that's linked to PayPal. So we still have access to it. So it's another step. eBay may want to save some money here or there, whatever the case is.
Yeah. Chris is saying there's less fees involved with the eBay managed payments, a little bit less off the top. So that's always good. If you're a seller, especially if you're a seller in bulk or of a big item.
Yeah, he's saying 2.7 fee on eBay managed payments. As it is right now with PayPal, you're looking at 2.9 plus an additional 0.3%, which for you or I, because we don't really sell a whole bunch, is irrelevant. That's literally pennies. But for people like Chris, Brent Williams, other people who sell in bulk, and that's where they make up a lot of their income. I don't know if Chris has a full-time job. I know Brent does not. That card selling is his job. That extra 0.2% plus that extra 0.3% off the back end.
He actually noted it's 30 cents.
It's okay, not 30%. So yeah, any which way, that's going to add up over time. I mean, huge. You're talking thousands of dollars over the course of a fiscal year.
Yep.
If especially if you're selling like Brent and Chris do, where you're selling a lot.
Yeah.
For us, 30 cents is whatever.
Yeah, if you're doing it once or twice, yeah.
Yeah, it's like when people complain about, my shipping fees, I got to pay for the bubble mailer, and I got to pay for this, and I got to drive over to the post office, and that's why I'm charging you more on shipping. If you're doing one sale a month, 2 sales a month, okay, I get it, but that's not my fault as a buyer.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and people always bitch and complain when there's change, and you either deal with it or you walk away, right? So, yeah, it's good. We'll see. I wanted to get at this big, awesome topic tonight, and as we get closer, I will not be here. Breaking news: I will not be here next week. Ben and Steph will, because it's my wife's birthday. That falls on the day of our show. And I have to take her to dinner and wine and dine her, so she still will live with me.
You don't have to. You get to. It's a privilege.
No, I have to. She'll murder me.
No, but you also get to. You get to take her. It's a privilege.
She doesn't listen to the show. So she actually said that. She goes, I've never listened. We're on episode 28. She's never listened, not even seconds of the show. So it made me feel really good. Like, she loves me and supports me. And but she does let me have this room. And she doesn't ever complain.
It's like when you gave away my Christmas gift to Heather about buying Stranger Things box.
Oh.
I asked her, did you listen? She goes, no. And when she opened it, she goes, is this why you asked me if I listened? I was like, yeah, because Tim gave it away on
So camera. Did you open the box?
We didn't open the box yet. We haven't had time, but she had said, oh, this is why. I was like, yeah. I said, have you listened to any show since then? She goes, honey, I've only listened to like 2 shows ever.
Well, that's 2 more than my wife. I mean, Steph's wife's actually been on the show and contributed, right?
That's right.
So I don't know what that says about. Anyway, so I won't be here next week, and I didn't even know that. I just was breaking that news to him right now.
Well, maybe we'll get a guest like Chris Torres or something. We'll get somebody in here as a third guest that
trying to replace me, huh?
Temporarily.
Oh yeah.
I'm
gonna get Wally pipped, huh?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but I want to talk about New Year's resolution. So last year I started. I was like, I wanted to come up with a handful of resolutions for myself in collecting, and one of the big ones that I did, and I wanted to get Ben and Steph's input on this. One of the big ones I did that I want to redo this year because I stopped halfway through this year, and I'll tell you why. So it was every time I made a baseball or sports card related purchase, whether it's picking up going to the card show and buying stuff there, or going to the LCS and picking stuff up, or making an eBay purchase or an Amazon purchase that was card related. If it was supplies, cards, boxes, sets, whatever, I took $1 from each one of those purchases and put it away and set it aside. And I kind of had this acquisition account, right? And it let me know how many purchases I had made. Well, by like July, or I think it was like July, I had around $300 and almost $400. And Steph had a set of 2011 Topps update for sale, and also a 2011 Mike Trout playoff rookie card. I needed to complete that. So that was the only card I didn't get when I opened like 3 boxes of that stupid product. And so we made I didn't spend all of the money with him, but a good majority of the money on that set. He gave me a really smoking deal on the set. And that was awesome because I wanted to make a big my thing is on January 1st was to make a big PC purchase. But I couldn't pass up a Topps 2011 update set. And since then it's even gone up more. So I'm really happy with my purchase. But that's something I want to do again this year. So just to kind of give you an idea. So do you have any collecting resolutions for 2019 besides like, adding to your A's PC, like something in particular that you would like to do, or
Well, yeah, I'm sure there's plenty. I had one late 2017. I started looking into. I mean, I've got a stack probably. Shoot, I don't know how high, but there's probably about 200 cards sitting there on my desk that are autos and relics and refractors of players of cards I've collected since the last time I sorted them. And I've got a triple shoebox full of cards that need to go in binders. Again, autos and relics that I haven't put away for like 2 or 3 years. And I was thinking going into 2017, I need to cut back on buying so many autos and relics. And how many of these do you need? How many Chris Davis and Matt Olson and Matt Chapman autos do I really need? How many different refractors do I really need? And 2018 came and went, and here I am with the same crap. I've got 2 full binders, literally 2 full binders full of just base cards and refractor sets. And if I were to put all my autos and relics in there too, I bet it would get into 4 binders without an issue for 1 full calendar year of releases. And I need to cut back, and I did not. So going into 2019, hopefully I can have the wherewithal and the discipline to, when flagship comes out at the end of January, checklist gets released, look at the team sets and go, okay, I need the master team set, and I'll get the parallel rainbow and gold set. But do I need all the autographs and relics that are coming out? Manufactured relics. Do I need them? I want them, but when you actually start looking at that cost associated, just buying all that stuff. I mean, when Update came out, I bought all of the short prints and super short prints, and Heritage came out. I did not buy the uber expensive short printed the throwback uniforms. They had done 2 of Piscotti and LaCroix. And I think those are not numbered, but I think print run, there are only like 10 of them made every year, something like that. So they do sell for hundreds of dollars, but
No, I feel the same way. Like I would do that with my Brett collection. Like, how many jersey back cards and autographs of this one guy do I need? It's. I feel you. So, like, I haven't even done that. I don't even do that with the Royals and the Giants anymore. I just do the base sets, and that's about it.
That's what I need to get now. Yeah, I'm gonna collect some autos and stuff, but
yeah, or new ones you might not have in the A's uniform. Or
yeah, you get Matt Chapman. Okay, I got some new ones because this was his first full season. Olson I had quite a few of. Obviously, Stephen Piscotti came over. But Jerkson Profar, his first one I'll probably grab now that it's an A. But I don't need 12 Jerkson Profar autographs.
No, or you end up with who was the pitcher that you guys had a ton of this year? It was like an everything. Blackburn. Yeah, Paul Blackburn. How many Paul Blackburn autos do you have to collect?
Yeah. Well, see, I got burned with like Tommy Malone and Jared Parker. Now, granted, those guys were part of the 2012 Uber rookie class with Cespedes, and there was like 5 or 6 guys. Colin Cowgill, I think, was part of that group. The A's had quite a few rookies that year, none of which are still with the team, most of which kind of fizzled out. Cespedes is still a star, but not for the A's. And even that, his star's kind of fading due to injuries. But, when you look at it, it's like, yeah, other than 1 or 2, Blackburn, come on, man. I don't need that many of that crap.
Yeah. No, and any other resolutions besides kind of limiting auto and relic pickups?
No, I mean, that'd be, I guess, personal preference. That's kind of like I need to get back to the gym, lose weight kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I was just entering some of the stuff that I got for Christmas. Again, the 1936 Chickle set, which is an oversized set. I got this team set from 1961, still sealed, which is not going to stay sealed. J Publishing 5x7 picture cards. They did team issues for all the teams. But from 1909 to 1941, all of the pre-war stuff, I've got about 56% of them. So there's a couple bigger name cards, like 33 DeLong I've got none of the 3, but it's Fox, Cochran, and Grove. So even low grade to get all 3 of those would probably cost me between $600 to $800. But there's 2 gold borders I'm missing from 1911. I think it's Collins and Baker, if I'm not mistaken. But there's like 4 double plays from 41. I'm missing 10 of the 1940 play balls. Those probably won't be expensive at all. So I'd like to kind of catch up on the pre-war, get team. And that's the thing is rediversify, reallocate that money. Let me take my relic and auto money and put it towards team sets, because I still need at present count from 1909 to 2018, I still need 9,696 cards. And you're buying a lot of these team sets in 15, 20, 25 cards at a time for one set. So you can knock 300 or 400 cards off with an $80 bill. You know, especially when you've got team sets for you and RK Collectibles, and there's quite a few guys that have team sets online, and a couple of them I've emailed and just said, "Hey, man, you got our best offer. I'm going to offer you 75% on the dollar for what you're asking for, you know, or 70%, but I'm going to do over 30 team sets.
Yeah, you
interested? You know, before you start countering them all, let's go ahead and negotiate this deal first."
Yeah.
And I've had one guy's name is Bobby or Robbie. I think Robbie's. I forget what his eBay ID is, but yeah, he's really cool about it. He's like, yeah, he goes, let me know when you're done making offers. He goes, and I'll go through and accept them all.
Yeah, no, I've done that before with some early 70s team sets of the Royals. So yeah, that's a good thing. My big ones are going to be is, you know, last year I made a resolution I was going to read a book a month, and I didn't even get anywhere close. Life kind of got in the way, but I really want to make a thing to read more, but collecting related. Last year I started my site. I started Big Shep Cards, bigshepscards.com, and kind of listed things I was working on, sets in progress, my PCs, and I never really got the Royals project and my Giants project up there. My the Buster Posey cards I'm looking for. My sets in progress was always updated, and I have this thing where I buy unopened packs of all the top series that I have the complete sets of. And so I've had to try to go back, and from like 95 through 11, I'm trying to fill in missing packs. And so I have a list there. Is just really keeping this up to date, because when I've gone to shows and stuff, or I've made trades with people online, it's really easy to send them my link and have them go in, and it's updated and accurate. So then they can go, hey, I have the stack for you here. Let's do this deal. Versus like listing, like when you trade, when somebody goes, hey, what do you like? And you get back, oh yeah, I PC Trout, Acuna, Harper, Judge, Bowman Chrome Autos. That's all. It's like, all right, bro, I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you. I can say, hey, like I need some 1970 tops, and as long as they're not completely folded, rounded, and see through, then I'm your Huckleberry, and we can make a deal. So, because I just try to build the set to have the set, and later on, if I find better updates, I will do that. But it's just about completing the set. So that's going to be my big thing this year, and then organizing, my mess of stuff. So,
it's funny you mentioned that, because I was showing my dad over the Christmas weekend some of my old vintage stuff. We put away some of the 1960s cards that he had already bought me. Or that I had picked up, and he goes, "Are you planning on ever upgrading any of these?" And I was like, "No," because first off, some of those I collected when I was a kid, but now the problem is I don't know which ones they were, and it's one of those things that you had mentioned. Give me binders, give me sleeves, because I want to spend my money on cards. Same kind of a thing is, why would I upgrade a 1961, so and so player? Because it's a slightly better card, and I'm going to spend $6 at the local card shop doing so. I mean, all those boxes that Teammates has, there's all kinds of old A's stuff in there. I could easily go through there but I'd have to bring my binder in and see am I upgrading it or not.
Yep.
I just don't need to. That $1, that $2, that $5 can be better spent elsewhere, making my collection better. It's just not important to me. Yeah. Now, if I've got a 1960 Topps Mickey Mantle, which was like folded in half or something like that, it has a cut in it, a slice in it. Okay, well, if I got a chance to buy a better one, sure. that's different because now it's one single card, one single player. It's not part of a collection. And honestly, a lot of my collection goes together. You know, they're all graded. If they were all to be graded, they'd all be graded sub 4. You know, and I'm okay with that. I like that old vintage. They all have stories to tell.
Yep.
You know, it's I picked up a couple of the oldest cards I own. Picked up a couple of Allen and Ginter cards from 1888 from a series called World's Dudes, and it's like a international collection of guys from England and Holland and Germany and what they wore back in 1888. It's really, really interesting. Think about it though. 1888. That's before the Berlin Wall came down. You know, these cards were over there. You know, possibly internationally, or were they all domestic? You know, these cards lived through earthquakes and floods and natural disasters, and people moved and people died, and they didn't end up in a landfill and houses burning down and so on and so forth. Yep. They were never in bicycle spokes. And think about that. Think about when Honus Wagner died and they were going through his clothes. His family found a T206 Honus Wagner in his jeans pocket. The most infamous card sitting there in his pocket.
Yep.
You know, what if they just tossed those jeans in a pile to go to the Goodwill? Somebody was going to get a hell of a surprise.
Yeah.
No, they checked his pockets. And what was it doing in there to begin with? You know, and I think he died around 1960 or so, you know, early 60s. You think about that, you know, how much of this stuff. So when there's cards from the late 1800s, I'm okay with them not being perfect because they tell a story.
Yep. Oh, definitely.
And real quick, I did open these J Publishing cards while we're here because I need to put them in my database. And this little, I don't know what year these were actually produced. I don't know if it was actually in 1961 or not. But it came with a picture pack order form. And you can send me additional picture packs for these teams checked below. And you have to send them a quarter for each one.
Wow.
And you can get the big league books as well. I need the yearbooks checked below. Red Sox, Senators, Yanks, Twins, Pirates, Braves, Cardinals, Tigers, Dodgers, Giants, and Orioles. And then you have to enclose 50 cents per book or $2.25 for any 5 books. Or you can order all 11 for $5.
Can you check that and send it in for me? I'll get you the $5.
Yeah, no, dude, we're gonna order a ton of this stuff, and then we're gonna put it on eBay and check out this new, you know, Visa thing. Where and this is brilliant.
That's
so
awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of fun when you get this stuff.
Yeah, so those are our big resolutions. Now, my question to you is: if we're gonna go one by one, back and forth here on what one resolution we have for each of the manufacturers listed. What we'd like them to do to make changes in 2019. And everybody listening, if you want to shoot us, you know, at About the Cards on Twitter, shoot us what your resolutions for collecting are and what also you think the resolutions for the manufacturers should be. So we're going to lead it off with Leaf, Brian Gray's company. So Ben, what resolution do you have for Leaf?
Sell to Panini and become a legitimate company. I think Leaf is just a waste of space at this point. And I get what Brian's doing, and I commend him to a certain degree. But it's just, they're just there. They exist, and hey, cool for them. But they really are a slightly better version of what Onyx. You know, I'm not that impressed by Leaf and the direction that he has them, and the fact he's always fighting, trying to get the, you know, co-license with Topps, and it just makes him look bad every time he says something along those lines. You know, he just seems like the guy who goes home and cries to mommy because he wasn't picked by his older brother's team. You know, maybe it's time for a change, but he owns the company, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I would like the resolution that they would unblock me for whatever reason they blocked me on Twitter. No, which is the weirdest thing. Why someone I'm like not that aggressive there. No, mine would be similar. I mean, I don't think there's a reason for Panini to buy a Leaf. I don't think the value of what they do is there, but I would like them somehow to acquire a license to actually show what they could do. You know what? But Brian Grace in the past, he's not willing to do that. Spend the money, and I understand that the financials make sense to me. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
You know, having to make a certain number for them, But at the same time, God, it would be nice you could show us what you really could do if you had a license and what your products would be. You know, if they were just able to do 1 or 2 products. I know it's like wishing someone that's passed away to come back alive, kind of wish, but that'd be the one resolution.
I don't disagree. I think that's a good thing. Leaf does have some, the best of baseball, and they do have some nice cards. I do own a few Leaf cards. I don't pursue them, but if I've come across them and they're, decent value, I've bought them in the past and would continue to do so. But they're just kind of there. They don't do anything to say, hey, Ben, we want your money. Tim, we want your money. What can we do to earn your money as a collector?
Yeah.
And because they don't do that, they just spit these sets out, and a lot of it's just regurgitated crap.
Yeah. I mean, they're buying like other people's cards and putting it out there, and you got a shot at trying to pull one.
Yeah, it's just
that's their one big trick. That's their one. Yeah,
but it's not for me.
Yeah, we don't talk a lot about Leaf. The other company we don't talk a lot about is Upper Deck, just because we don't really talk about hockey as much. That's the game with the stick and the puck. But what is your one resolution for Upper Deck?
Yeah, I honestly probably this would be better for Steph to have chimed in on this one, because you and I don't collect Upper Deck anymore because they are hockey. I've mentioned this before. I think they do make some of the most beautiful cards that are currently available. And if I was there was a time when I considered collecting hockey specifically because I'm a card collector, and they got my interest from that perspective. I really appreciate and enjoy their product. I don't really have a resolution for them. I mean, I'd like if there was an exclusive license, because I'd love to see what Upper Deck could do with baseball cards, which I do collect. I suppose just continue to do what they're doing, because it'd be nice if they could make a bigger thumbprint in the hobby.
Yeah,
I just don't. Yeah, they got that redheaded stepsister, so to speak, of sports.
Well, the other thing too is what they did to baseball and football, not playing the players' associations. Back in the late 2000, 2008, 9, somewhere in that, when they lost the license, they were having issues making payments, and so that's kind of, I think, really got hurt. What's hurt them with the other leagues is that they just didn't come through.
Right.
My thing would be is to continue to do like the giving they do, because they have those like surprise mail days they do to their hockey collectors, and they give things away. I know they would randomly just be carrying on, their employees would carry on boxes and just hand out packs to people wherever they were, which I think is pretty awesome. So to continue to give back to the people in their community and the hobby would be, even people not. I mean, I think that's a great thing. So continue to do that. That's always a positive. Let's move on to our friends over at Panini. What's your? We have a joint one, so we'll save that. We'll save that one for last. We have a joint one, but what's yours?
I would like to see them make. First off, I'd like to see them eliminate Donruss Optic, and do it as more of a parallel to Donruss. I am a huge fan of the Donruss, but I just think Donruss and Donruss Optic, and then you have Donruss Diamond Kings. They really are the same set done 3 separate times, and I just think they kind of step on one another. I don't know if it's out of laziness or whatnot. I'd like to see them discontinue the Chronicles, which has been out 2 years. This year was better than last year, considerably better. But when your first product was crap, they just cleaned up the toilet a little bit this year. That's all it was. It was still a throwaway product. I'd like to see them have a few more Donruss style products. Some more affordable. It's hard for people to get interested in non-licensed products when they're expensive. When you play around in the deep end of the pool with the National Treasures and the Immaculate, it's just tough to get that casual fan, because it doesn't have the logo and the licensing, and a lot of their stuff is sticker auto. It makes it tough. I'd like to see them kind of bring out a few more of the Donrusses. And Chronicles is not the answer if you're out there listening.
Chris Torres says Panini needs to put odds on their products. That's a really good one. On the box to say you could, on average, you should, but no, put it on there like Topps does, even though it's a micro writing. Let's do that. Mine for Panini is dump your points.
Oh God, yeah.
Dump your points.
Good call.
We went on through this last week, and it's pointless to cover it again. But just dump your points, please. It just a smack to the collector's face that, hey, yeah, that we know we put shitty hits in this box. Here's some points to buy some shittier ones.
Yeah, which is a good way to bring it full circle. Listen to last week's show if you missed it, and find out our thoughts and opinions on Panini points.
Yep. Our joint one is, hey, Panini, release your checklist.
At all.
Thank you.
And the crowd goes wild.
Yeah.
We were on the checklist. 6 months later is fine. We just want one to have. We're releasing it 4, 6, 10 days late, and it's like, come on, man.
And the thing is that yeah. Anyway, all right, let's move on to Topps. As you're wearing your Topps branded shirt, what's your resolution for Topps this year?
They need to stop making 23 parallels for every single card for every single product. You're releasing a new product every week. Okay, nothing I can do about that. I collect them all, But come on, man. On top of that, you're kicking us in the teeth with all these products that overlap. I can't even get excited about Gypsy Queen because Heritage is coming next week. But guess what? Alan Ginter is the following week.
Yeah.
Or this week, like you mentioned earlier, you got Draft on top of Best because Draft was pushed back a week. Okay, fine, but I don't need 17 parallels. And Bowman is stupid with Bowman Paper and Bowman Chrome being released in the same one. Literally, there's like 25 or 26 parallels of each card. I was showing it to my dad, and I was almost getting embarrassed showing him what I had bought.
Yeah. For
one particular player, and then having to explain to him that they did this for every player.
Well, yeah, my big thing and mine is I'm stealing this thing from Stale Gum. Chris Harris is like, let's reduce the bloat in flagships. My favorite product, but you have every year there's 2 to 3 additional insert sets that don't need to be in there, right? And they're not creative enough for me. And they're not interesting. The other resolution has fallen on my mind real quick because I saw some comment here from Torres chiming in again. Topps needs to find the wood minis in 2019. Yeah, what happened, brah? Where are the wood minis from Allen and Ginter?
Yeah, we need 2018s and them for 2019.
Yeah.
So we want twice as many as wood minis because their quality control is so piss poor at times. Maybe not all the time, but they have their fair share of issues. And we've all worked for big companies and corporations, and we all have our fair share of stories. But so much of the crap that we could pick apart with Topps is so easily fixed. And it comes back to, do they even care? Because at times it just doesn't seem like they do.
No, definitely. No, and so it's one of those things like, hey, like we can always hope and pray that these things will happen, but we just kind of want to let you know what we're looking for from the collectors, and then as a collector's perspective, and then from the voice of the collector. Now, Ben sent this to me right before we went on tonight. Rob Bertrand, who is one of the hosts of Go GTS show. He was before on Cardboard Connection, one of my favorite guys. The voice of the collector at VOTC on Twitter. eBay listed the top 20 most expensive items sold so far in 2018, includes 4 sports cards. So coming in at number 18 overall, 1952 Mickey Mantle and 1941 Joe DiMaggio sold for a combined $152,000. 15 on the list was a 0304 LeBron James, but it doesn't say which one. Basketball card sold for $250,000.
Yeah, card number, it's auto.
Yeah, 2004. No, I'm sorry. Number 14 was a 2000 Tom Brady championship ticket for $250,000. Now, just to give you an idea, number 13 was a 2017 Mercedes S-Class Maybach S650 that sold for $318,000. So we're talking Mercedes, high-end Mercedes-Benz. A Ferrari came in at 12. A Lamborghini's at 11. Okay, a helicopter's at number 10. We have a McLaren at 9. Another Ferrari at 8. A Ferrari at 7. A Lambo at 6. And at number 5, a 2009 Mike Trout draft pick baseball card sold for $400,000. And that was the Bowman draft. Was that the Superfractor one that sold and for Mike in Vegas or whatever the douchebag in Vegas his name was?
No, yeah. And what's funny is that out of the 20 of them, they're like 12 of them are cars and a helicopter. It's funny to see what the other ones were. And then, of course, number 1
was lunch with Warren Buffett to benefit Glide eBay charity. So that sold for $3.3 million. So,
which almost has to have an asterisk because it is a non-tangible asset. It's an event, a memory, an experience, and it's also for charity. Which there
was a watch that sold for over $500,000. So, I guess that's a pretty nice watch.
Yeah, the fact that there was even 1 on there was cool, but let alone 4. Yep. Neater, you know.
And no hockey cards. What's that tell you?
Yeah, that's the other thing. There's 2 baseball, a basketball. Well, I guess 3 if you count the fact that 1 was a 2-card lot. Yeah. 2 baseball, a basketball, and a football. So kind of neat. It was the blend that it wasn't just all LeBron or all Trout.
We're all vintage. Like it was a interesting little list there. So, well, Ben, unless you have anything else, I mean that's gonna be our show tonight. Kind of a quick one without Steph here and a limited number of new releases. I want to thank you everyone for participating tonight. We had Matthew and Chris Torres really hot in the chat tonight. And Matthew, I'd love to give you a hard time, bud. And thanks for everybody for listening and hanging out with us. But remember, we're live every Wednesday at 8 p.m. here on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe and review on all our platforms, iTunes, Stitcher, and here on YouTube, and subscribe. Or make sure you follow us there as well as your notifications when we go live. And you can always follow us on Twitter about the cards. You can follow Ben at our trading cards. You can follow Missing in Action, Steph at Junk Wax Twins, and always follow me, Big Shep 79. Ben, any final thoughts tonight before we take off?
No, we're not going to see everybody between now and New Year's, so I want to make sure everybody has a safe and happy New Year, specifically safe, and make smart decisions out there. If you do want to drink, make sure you have, Uber or Lyft on your phone, or have a
driver, something with you.
Driver, somebody that can get you there, or drink at home and have a good time at home. Hopefully everybody had a Merry Christmas and a happy holiday. And if you're traveling during this upcoming week, again, be safe. It's not you as much as it's the other people that are on the road with you and whatnot. Those are always the ones you have to worry about. So, hopefully everybody makes it from point A to point B each and every day. Make smart decisions.
Yes, sir. And that's all we have tonight, guys and gals. It was great. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for listening and watching. We definitely appreciate it. And Happy New Year. I will see you in 2 weeks. Enjoy next week with Ben and Steph. And enjoy your New Year and keep collecting. Let us know what you get out there. See you soon.